band at a 4th of July parade once, and he said, "Do you want to go jump off a bridge with me and my friends?" And I said, I would love to, but I'm from out of town and I didn't bring a swimsuit. And he said, "If that's genuinely your only holdup, we can probably find someone to lend you a swimsuit." So we found someone to lend me a swimsuit. It was the cutest swimsuit I've ever worn. I think about it every single day, and I really wanted to buy it off of the girl who lent it to me, but that felt like creepy and weird. So parade friend and I jumped off a bridge together. Then we got food, and then we wandered around downtown holding hands for no reason, and then we went and sat down by the river to wait for the fireworks to start. We're sitting in the grass, and he starts telling me his whole life story, and I wanted to be like, "Dude, you don't have to tell me a sob story. I'm already gonna hook up with you." But that seemed like a wildly inappropriate thing to say to somebody who had just told you that his dad left when he was really little and things had been really hard on him and his mom. So instead, I just told him something personal about me, and then the fireworks still hadn't started. We were like, "What should we do until these fireworks start? Make out, I guess." But we weren't doing anything crazy because we were in public. We were trying to get arrested. Then this weirdo started tickling me. I was like, "Dude, no. I don't like being tickled in any situation, any context, especially not now." But he kept tickling me, and I said, "Dude, no." And then we heard a man behind us say, "No." We both slowly turned our heads, and we realized that the man behind us was speaking to his daughter. They'd laid out a blanket to watch the fireworks on. His daughter was wandering off the blanket. When he said no, his daughter turned around and went back on the blanket. I turned back to parade friend and I said, "See? She knows what that word means." He said, "That's different. That's a child. I'm a grown man." I said, "No means the same thing to a child as it does a grown man. The only difference is children listen." He removed his whole body from me. He was like, "I'm sorry, are you saying I don't listen to you?" And we had our first fight and made up during the fireworks show. After we finished not watching the fireworks show, we hung out some more, ran some night errands, and then he took me to my friend's apartment where I was staying. He said, "Can I have your number?" And I was like, "Dude, we both know you're not going to use my number." And he said, "I'm trying to be a gentleman." I was like, "Well, the ship sailed on that, buddy." And he said, "Hit me up if you're ever in town again." And I said, "I will not." And I never saw him again.
Am I wrong for getting matching tattoos with my best friend after his girlfriend told me it made her uncomfortable? Yeah. So basically, I, 19 female, have been best friends with Devon, 20 male, since we were teenagers, around 13 to 14 years old. We have been extremely close since then, and his friendship means more to me than any other relationship in my life. When we were around 16, he casually said, "Hey, maybe we should get matching tattoos to remind us that we're always there for each other." And I said it sounded cool, and it wasn't really mentioned again. We were minors, so it wasn't exactly plausible. But recently we passed a tattoo place, and I joked, "Remember when we were younger and we wanted to get matching tattoos?" Which led to a discussion leading up to us deciding that we wanted to do it for real. We took a few days to decide on the design. My friend is a graphic designer, so she made it for us. But it's basically a light bulb shaped like a heart with the words, "I'll be your light, love you always," sort of woven through the image. The light bulb thing is an inside thing between us, and we always say "love you" / "I love you," so it wasn't anything off-putting. And then the day before the appointment was scheduled, Devon's girlfriend Bianca came up to me hysterical, saying that we couldn't go through with the tattoos. I'm assuming Devon must have told her. She didn't really give me any room to speak, but she talked a lot about how uncomfortable the idea made her. They've been in an extremely serious relationship for a while, and he was starting to consider proposal. But I told her that I was still getting the tattoo, as Devon had been an important part of my life for years and means a lot to me. And the tattoo was our idea together, not just mine. Obviously, we went through with it, and it felt really nice for a while, until Bianca called me and started freaking out. Apparently, I'm a horrible person and the tattoo was too romantic, even though it was not. We're just extremely close friends. I'm sure she has friends she would say "I love you" to, and it's not a big deal. But now she's saying she wants it to be removed, and I really don't know what to do. Because on one hand, I don't want to be responsible for ruining Devon's relationship / possible marriage, but on the other hand, I do not want to get rid of the tattoo. I'm really conflicted on this one because I didn't think it mattered at all, but she will not stop crying about it. I mean this literally, and it makes me feel really bad.
For wanting to expose my lying, cheating mother? A month ago, I borrowed my mom's phone and she had no idea, but I looked at all of her apps and found that she was cheating with multiple men. I'm 26 years old and my parents have now been married for 30 years. I actually got separated when I graduated from high school, but then they got back together a few years later. My mom has always been the one that wants to separate my dad, but he keeps wanting to get back together with her. My dad is actually in love with this woman. He adores her. He does everything for her. He's super affectionate with her, loves to take her out on dates, gives her so much of his time, and she still doesn't appreciate it. I've always been closer to my dad than my mom. My mom's always trying to find an excuse to go party with her friends, but now I know why. Like I said, I ended up borrowing her phone and she probably didn't expect me to go snooping. And honestly, it wasn't even my intention. I'm scrolling on her phone and I see the app Tinder. I nearly fell out of my seat. So I quickly scrolled through everything and started taking pictures. My mom was sending nudes to random men. Part 2 is up. That's when I saw that she was sending nudes to men on different apps. Not only was she on Tinder, she was also on Bumble and an app for older people. Mind you, my father is still in love with this woman. I managed to take pictures of everything on the apps. Here's the worst part. Start going through her messages and that's when I found that she has a boyfriend. At that point, I didn't know how long they'd been together. Now I know that she's been with him for 6 months. So every single time she goes on her weekend trips with her friends, she's actually with her boyfriend. And get this, she uses my dad's money to pay for everything. An entire week passed before I confronted her. First, I didn't know how to confront her, but I had to just do it. Every time I saw my dad, I would start to cry and he was worried about me. I didn't have the heart to tell my dad until I confronted my mom. I went up to her and I showed her all the receipts I had. So she got pissed at me for looking through her phone. By the way, at this point, I'm still living with my parents. That's when she threatened to kick me out of the house if I told my dad anything. My own mother threatening me. Then she tried to smack me across the face, so I smacked her. Part 3 is up. After she slapped me, I slapped her back. And I slapped her so hard she actually fell on the floor. I instantly felt bad and tried to apologize. That's when she started to cry and I started to cry. I asked her to just be honest with me and tell me the truth. She told me that she wasn't in love with my dad anymore, but that she felt bad for him because he was still in love with her. And that she'd been dating this new guy for 6 months. She even confessed that she was addicted to going on dating apps and flirting with men. That's when I told her she needed to tell my dad. That she needed to stop using his money to take her boyfriend out. Then another confession. She had spent over $25,000 on hotels that she would book for her and her new boyfriend. And apparently this guy was broke. He couldn't pay for himself. She tried to negotiate with me. If I don't tell my dad, she'd break up with her boyfriend and stop using the apps. I mean, she's my mother and I don't want to cause her pain, but it's my dad. I ended up telling her that I wouldn't tell my dad. But 2 nights ago, my dad went on a work trip. My mom is so stupid, she actually snuck in her boyfriend through her window. I heard them doing the dirty all night. Now she's begging me again not to tell my dad. I'm planning on telling my dad tonight. I'll have to keep you guys updated. Give me advice.
I ate my own kitty story time. So I had just moved into my brand new apartment and I had no transportation because my car was in the shop. All of my family lived in a completely different state, so I didn't know anyone. I was starting fresh. I hadn't even started my new job yet, so I had no money to order anything. I don't know what I was thinking, but it was just me and my cat. So day 1 of no food goes by. I go to sleep starved and I wake up even more starved. Then I'm like, okay, I'll be fine. My car gets out of the shop tomorrow. I'll go get some food. And I'm like, wait, I still don't have no money. So it doesn't matter if my car gets out of the shop. I'm like, okay, it's okay. I get my last check from my last job next Friday. Can't go a week without food. So I only have one option. I have to eat cat food. Did I say cat earlier? I meant cat food, as in tuna. I made a tuna salad and I was stuffed.